Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Adam. Welcome back to another Flight Sim discussion, and today I'd like to talk about Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. As of recording this video, we're about 2 months away from the launch of Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, and we're about a week away before the final development stream before the launch of the sim. On the 25th of September, Microsoft's going to go live and talk about MFS2024 live on Twitch. We've just had about 100 people who were invited over to Phoenix, Arizona, and then flown over to the Grand Canyon by special invitation, comprised of 75 content creators and 25 news affiliates who were invited for a secret gathering meeting or preview of MFS 2024. Most of them were, if not all, were given tote bags as well, featuring a hoodie, a hard drive, and notepad and a water bottle, and they were given access to utilize 2024. And as of recording this video, they are under an NDA. They can't talk about it until next Thursday, which will be this Thursday when you guys are watching this. And I was looking on my YouTube channel, and it was last year in July when they first launched the first trailer for Microsoft Flight Sim 24, and I did a talk about it, what to expect, or what we knew about it. And it's a year later, over a year later now. We've had 2 more trailers launch, and we know a lot more. So this is basically a roundup of everything we do know, and then my predictions for what we don't know. So what we do know is that, yes, it is this complete standalone game that you'll either be able to have free with the Microsoft with the Xbox Game Pass, or you can pay for it. But it is a standalone. It's not like an add-on or an update, for 2020. It is its own simulator, and it focuses more on the sort of gameplay mission scenarios, more so than anything else. But there's been a lot of stuff that has been reworked and revamped. In fact, the development team has been improving pretty much almost every aspect of 2020 for 2024. They've completely reworked the multi-threading capability for the CPU to improve the performance, meaning Microsoft 2020 is single CPU bound with that limitation. They've improved the download, the load and installation speed. The download is 26 gig now, that will install. Jorg was saying on the last development stream that it was 50 gig installation. So that doesn't really mean that it's a faster download. It's going to be a quicker download, because the Microsoft 2020 was 350 gig installed, and I think you were downloading about 150, and then it installs to 350. But yeah, it's going to be a quicker download because there's less to download. But will the servers still be as slow as they are for 2020, or will they be improved? They've also improved the aerodynamics and physics simulation, so Microsoft 2024 should have a better aerodynamic environment and physics from within. I'm going to guess that 2020 is lacking these improvements. Also, there has been improved aircraft systems, including electrical, pneumatic, fuel and hydraulics. I guess things that were missing from 2020 are now going to be in 2024. Same with the new failure and wear and tear system that is being built into default. There's a deeper and wider avionics system and a flight deck tablet available within every flight deck by default. In fact, there's a lot of default happening. They've actually partnered with a lot of third-party developers to bring very specific airplanes in by default, so it's third-party payware quality in by default. Because in 2020, Asobo have even stated that the planes that they make for 2020 are not meant to be study level. They're not meant to be like a training aid. It's just an accessible plane, most likely for the console users, because the console is limited in what it can achieve in terms of memory or performance, whereas a PC isn't that limited as a console. So a lot of the Asobo planes are kind of aimed for the console users, but the third-party ones that are going to be brought in by default will have that sort of study levelness to them. Planes from Carenado, who are doing the Cessna 188s, DC Designs doing the Fairchild Republic A10 Thunderbolt 2. There's also Airplane Heaven, Blackbird Simulations, Orbex, Gaia Simulations, and a whole host of other developers who are partnering with Microsoft to bring in their products by default. So meaning you won't have to purchase them. They will be bundled in with the default level of the sim. And in fact, the default level of the sim has been improved in terms of the visual aspects over 2020. The static world, in terms of the ground detail, has been given an actual 3D ground detail material. They've enhanced the 3D trees with increased diversity, and improved the way the cliffs are visualized from the photoreal. The models of cliffs are now in there rather than it just a texture overlay. The living world, you have whole loads of animals going to be in Microsoft 2024, even having migration paths like the real world. Same with the ships. There's going to be live ship traffic, and they're going to have their routes to flow on. And there's accurate live air traffic with models and liveries like in the real world, as well as improved vehicle traffic. And even human characters, diverse character models. I think there's probably about 5 character models in the current 2020, so can expect probably about 50 in 2024. And finally, Microsoft Flight Simulator is going to have all the seasons. One thing 2020 lacked was actually having a full winter, summer, fall, spring, and even hard winter. Now all the seasons will be shown in 2024, with the Aurora Borealis being in there, as well as tornadoes and storms. That is the one I'm interested in, tornadoes and storms. How they're going to be visualized and how they're going to affect the flight dynamics of the sim. There's been a lot of questions about the price. Nobody knows, nothing's been announced. And there's been a whole load of other questions, to be honest, but in all honesty, my predictions for Microsoft 2024 is that the pricing is going to be probably along the same lines of 2020, where you'll have the choice of 3 tiers: a standard, a deluxe, and a premium. With the standard is what will be available with the Game Pass, free if you have the Game Pass, and then you can upgrade to the deluxe version if you want to purchase and have more content, and then the premium version, which has all the content for a higher premium price as well. So you're basically buying a whole new simulator, or installing a new simulator from the Game Pass for free of charge if you have that subscription. There's a lot of still unanswered questions, and by the time you watch this video, you're only days away before that development stream, to where you'll be able to get a lot of those questions answered. In fact, on Twitch now, the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 Twitch category is actually open, and you can already there's people throwing up videos which are basically not from 2024. These are just people jumping on the bandwagon, but the Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 channel is open and available, so people will be able to stream on this. And this is in readiness because, like I said before at the beginning of this video, there was 100 people invited out for a secret meeting. They've come back now, but they are under an NDA until next Thursday. 75 content creators, 25 news agents, but they can't say or stream or show anything until this Thursday coming, and then you'll see this channel here just filled with live channels for those who were lucky enough to be invited out. Mainly those with large followings who have been invited. I know that there's a couple of regular names that weren't invited, which is a shame because they have a lot of followers. But I guess Microsoft are looking for a certain specific type of person to invite to their secret meetings. Do you know what? I gotta say that I'm really concerned about this sim, to be honest. Like, for one, if this sim does not do well, you can kiss goodbye to the Microsoft Flight Simulator franchise. You know, I think Microsoft or Asobo are really expecting everybody who uses 2020, which is not millions of people, by the way. They lead you to believe that you're actually in a family of millions of users, but they said millions of downloads on their development stream. I myself have downloaded that sim 3 or 4 times because it's gone wrong and I've had to reinstall it. So I don't count as 4 people. I'm 4 downloads, and I'm sure there are many other people who have downloaded it multiple times. So 12 million downloads is fine, but how many unique users are there? I actually did some research on this, and there's only about 10,000 people using that sim currently at the moment. If you ask PMDG, I'm sure their sales will probably reflect somewhere in the region of probably 10 to 20,000 people, because I tracked for 3 months and only 10,000 people were using the sim on average during those months I tracked, over using Steam and Xbox, analytics. So that's a little bit of a different, but my point is, if I think my Asobo are expecting everybody to swing over to 2024, and there's a lot of money being pumped into making this a reality. In fact, there's over 500 people who have worked on this project. Now, every single one of those people is down to get paid, and that's a lot of money. Not only the servers that are required to run this and all the free software they get from Microsoft, like Azure and all that, they don't have to pay for that, but servers need maintenance and people to run it and people to develop this sim. There's a lot, basically millions has been spent on Microsoft 2024, and so it needs to make that millions back. And if it doesn't, if it starts to cost Microsoft money, then basically Microsoft will shut it down, because they are the overriding factor. Nothing to do with Asobo, they're just doing what they're told. So if people don't get Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, it's a very big question mark in the future if it'll still be around, and it seems to be taking down all the developers who will be attached to it as well. I know a lot of people who have said that they're going to wait because they've had their fingers burned with Microsoft 2020 in how it took 4 years to bring out, study level aircraft, and because so much was locked off, it took a long time, and they've just now got it running stable. They don't want to go and get Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 when there's another level of uncertainty if not only add-ons from 2020 will work in 2024, but will they have to pay an update fee to get the same thing they've already got but in the next simulator. And they're like, I've heard a ton of people who are saying they're waiting at least 2 years before updating. I don't know if Microsoft is planning to hold out for people to wait 2 years before they then go invest into that sim. I think within 12 months it's going to really either going to take off in a big way, or it's going to tank in a big way. And I think if people are waiting 2 years, they might find that it's not around in 2 years if you wait too long. Again, these are just my thoughts here now. We're in the section of what I think is going to happen, and I believe it's either going to take off really big or it's going to tank really big. There's a lot of cost involved and a lot of running costs involved with these two sims, and as soon as the profit begins to fall below, then they will cut the servers and cut the game as well, and everybody won't be able to use anything they've paid for in that flight sim. Probably why they've been so hard working on an offline mode, because we've seen this year alone, Azure servers have gone down, meaning you can't play the game. Microsoft Xbox game servers have gone down, meaning you can't get in the game. Bing servers have gone down, which means you have a stutter fest in your sim because the map data can't load in. I'm really confident that the reason the offline mode is being heavily worked on is to alleviate these fears of not needing to rely on Azure AI servers, not needing to rely on the Bing servers, and still I think the Xbox servers, you haven't got much choice because you can't fly without having to rely on those. There's just so much that this requires to run, and it requires the community support as well. And if people don't support it because they're happy with 2020, then by the time they decide to go for 2024, it might be too late. I could be completely wrong, and I hope I am, because I don't want to see any simulator fail. Like, there's a lot of people who still use, a century of flight, Microsoft, 2004. There's still people who use FSX, and there's still people who use P3D, and I'm sure there's still people who utilize Microsoft Flight and FLIGHTSIM World, the two sims that got shut down by Microsoft in the past, because they were reworking other things. But I'm pretty sure that there's still people who, like, I have access to both those sims, and I could utilize them if I want. There are a lot of people in the FLIGHTSIM community, and it's such a shame when any one sim gets canned with supports. And I really hope that the community is going to be supportive of 2024, because a lot of that support I've seen in the community go. Like, a lot of streamers say, oh, I'm not using X-Plane anymore, I'm not using P3D anymore because I'm going to use Microsoft. Or developers are saying, well, we're making products for Microsoft, we're not going to make any more products for any other sim. In fact, we're dropping support altogether for our own catalog of work, and we're not even going to update our previous work, and we're just going to remove them all from sale and focus on Microsoft. There is like a massive shift in this community, and it's becoming to get ugly. Like, for me, it doesn't bother me what sim anybody uses, as long as you're happy. That is the main thing. But when you start attacking people for their choice of sim, that's not on. And I've had so much negativity hit me for my choice of sim. People saying you should just join the Microsoft bandwagon, and I'm like, I don't want to. I'm happy with my sim, and you should be happy with yours. So go and play on it. I do hope that the community doesn't deteriorate further, because I don't foresee myself wanting to take part in it if it does. And it's already deteriorated. I remember a time when everybody was helping each other and sharing ideas, and now you just get judged and slated if you're not using Microsoft. It doesn't seem right, and I'm sure this is my point of view. You speak to somebody else, they'll have a completely different experience. They'll have a completely different view, where they go, wow, I've had so much support. I've had so much since I started using Microsoft Flight Simulator. I've had so many more viewers, or so much more support. Like, it's, each to their own. Like, there's going to be different points of view. But I guess at the end of the day, we're going to have to wait and see. There's not a lot we do know, but there is quite a lot we do know. And what we do know is, like, Microsoft likes to hold secret meetings and wants to sell its product, so it bribes people with large followings and then rams it down the throats of their followers, and tries to make as much money out of it. Mate, I can't do this. Honestly, I'm sorry. I love P3D, and I'm trying to do this with a straight face, but I can't do it. Guys, thank you so much. So I'm ending this video. This is Microsoft 2024. It's going to launch. It's going to be great. It's going to look visually stunning. It's a meme. Like, I'm going to have to cut this out, aren't I? Guys, I give away €50 of FLIGHTSIM vouchers every single month on my channel. If you want to be in with a chance to win, subscribe to the channel, leave comments below. Bad comments get deleted. Good comments will get kept. And at the end of every month, I go live with a vlog. And I do give away €50 of Sim Market FLIGHTSIM vouchers too, so you can go spend and get add-ons for your favorite sim. Thank you so much for watching this, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Not from Microsoft. Bye.
I can imagine what happened in 2006 when Microsoft decided not to go forward.
It's brilliant.
I wasn't in the hobby then, but I can imagine what people felt like.
I think this is a good idea. We should talk more. Thanks for the patience.
Left alone, kind of out there in the wind. It's scary.
And it's hard. We are really looking for, we have not found a universal.
Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, or MFS2024 as we now call it. Tons of detail everywhere on Earth. It is the biggest undertaking ever in flight simulation. So it's just huge. You can have fun in flight sim.
Which is why when we first met, I said, we're in this for 10 years. What I meant to say, we're in this for, and it can never happen again.